I don't believe in many things like Santa Claus and nipple rings, but one thing that I do believe is muskies.
Muskies.
They seem to be the king of fish, and if I ever get a wish, it will be to go and hunt for muskies.
Muskies.
Yeah, you do an old muskie guy here, and I just have a little short video here. Also short fish. It's only mid-20s. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things on it. I usually don't show these small fish, but I haven't had a video for a while, so I want to talk about a couple of things. One thing is, on this one, follow your rules. One of the rules I have is that if I'm going to be leaving for the day or that, I decide how many more casts I'm going to make, and then I head out. In this case, I decided I was going to make 5 casts, but the caveat to that rule is that if any of the casts are fouled, either by weeds or the lure getting mixed up by itself, on that I take an extra one for that. And on the first cast of these 5, I got a bunch of weeds. The lure didn't come in right. So I continue casting, and then so this cast is actually the 6th cast. This is the makeup cast where I caught the little fish. Here, take a look. Okay, so you see, follow your rules. If I decided just to do the 5 and not have my little extra rule there, I never would have got that fish. Wouldn't have been a tragedy, but I hadn't caught a fish for a while, so it was alright to get that. Next thing I want to talk about, and I've talked about this many times before, but let's do it again, what I was using there. The spinnerbait. And it seems like it's this blue and white one. I've been using a red and white one a lot the last few weeks, and a couple of orange ones, and this is what I get everything on, including my personal best I got on that. A lot of people don't like using these because they have the single hooks on them. Of course, the good thing with the single hooks, and I always had a trailer hook on, so it was two single hooks. But the good thing about that is you can go right through the weeds. This lake I'm on is just really weeded up. You can bring this right through the weeds. That's where all the fish I've been seeing have been, right in the weeds. I know it's in the middle of summer, they're supposed to be out deep. Not on this lake, they're right in the weeds. But it can't pull a bucktail through it. It come in with a big stream of weeds every time I try that. So I throw this. So a lot of people are concerned about pinning the fish with just 2 hooks. And I gotta say, I have still never lost a fish that I had hooked with this. other than once I had one of these break. It was a different brand. But otherwise, anything that you get stays pinned because they can't get any leverage. They got that single hook in them. It drives in deep, and a lot of times with treble hooks, they get they get hooked on one, and they turn their head and get a little leverage on one of the other hooks and pops it out. Really hard to happen on these, so you really do have a good success rate bringing in the fish once you get them hooked. So don't be worried about this, and you can throw them anywhere. You can throw it, if you want to throw it in the middle of the lake, go ahead. Throw it through weeds, throw it through woods, through reeds, anything, these will go through. It's a great all-round lure to use. So that's that. I know I told you before, but I'm telling you again. Also, don't forget the twister tail on the end. Now, I used to always tell you guys to use a yellow one on there, but the yellow ones are getting really hard to find. So let's say just use any color twister tail at all on there, as long as it's yellow. The other thing I want to talk about is this is the middle of summer. The lake temperature was a high 70s, so you have to be careful with the fish. Even though this was a small fish, it looks like it gets released right away. It was not ready to go right away. I had to sit with this fish better than half an hour. It took about 20 minutes before it would keep itself upright, and it was another 10 minutes before it kicked off and did well. So remember, even with these small fish, a lot of times small fish, they're ready to go right away, and get this warm temperature, you never know. So keep an eye on the fish, make sure that it kicks off good. So let's see if we get the sun behind me here. So let's see, just keep the fish safe, no matter what the size. So till next time, we'll see you.